everybody, all our legacypreneurs out there. I am so excited to be here with you today. Today is day 5 of the 5-day Legacypreneur Challenge, empowering you as an entrepreneur, as a legacypreneur, to protect and preserve your legacy. We've talked about reflecting on your legacy. We talked about defining your legacy, your vision, defining that vision. It's so important. Creating your action plan and the importance of having, breaking down your action plan and working that action plan. I shared with you an excerpt from my book. And my book, I definitely want to encourage you. You can take a look at my chapter and many other contributing authors in the stories of the world's greatest speakers. And it's volume 1 with the visionary author, Dr. Sean Fair. And I am located in the book in chapter 16 of the book, The Speaker and Me, from Employee to Legacypreneur. We talk about each of these topics that I shared with you in the challenge. And then, of course, day 4, building your support network. And I talked about my favorite word, synergy. The whole is greater than the individual parts. So important to be able to be an effective and powerful legacypreneur, right? That your legacy plus you as an entrepreneur equals your legacypreneur. And of course, I cannot stop from sharing my secret sauce formula, right? DNA plus synergy equals legacy. DNA, you are unique. Nobody else can be you. Plus synergy equals legacy. And there's a 5-step blueprint that I actually share with individuals tied to synergy, which I'd love for you to take to learn more about as well. Today, though, we're here to talk about protecting and preserving your legacy. That's right, protect and preserve your legacy. You worked hard for what you have. We want to make sure you protect and preserve it. And today I'll focus on trademarking your legacy. So let's go into this a little bit further. So up here you can see I'm an attorney, a lawyer, author, speaker, coach, and I also have Cynthia Gallardo Law, LLC, Legacy Law Boutique, and I am your leading legacy lawyer. I love doing this. And so for today, we'll talk about 30 to 45 minutes at the most. I want to share with you how you too can protect and preserve your legacy with a trademark and why that's so important to do so. So we'll talk, you can think about me as your personal legal consultation here, right? It's like having that attorney or lawyer in your pocket. Also just finding out, is a trademark right for you? I never want to pressure anyone to think they have to do it. I want you to know what the options are, then you make the best choice for you. And then also I'm offering you to be able to book a free strategy session with me today. That's right, free. There will be no charge to you. It's obviously invaluable. I'd be able to break down your specific business and find out if it's something that you need at this particular point. And if there's any questions or answers, we can definitely address those as well. So you're in the right place if you've heard you need a trademark, but you aren't sure where to start. You are curious how long the process will take and what's involved. And you're wondering why you can't just do your own trademark online. Well, I'm here to tell you, you can do it online. Yet sometimes we just need to delegate those things that we know, can take some extra time from us that we could be utilizing in other areas. So I want you to do what you do best, right? When you're working with your own clients, with your own business as an entrepreneur, and building your own legacy. So once again, just to introduce myself, I'm Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer. I am lawyer, attorney, author, speaker, coach, and I am proud CEO and founder of Cynthia Gallardo Law. And you can contact me at cynthiagallardo.com, or you can also contact me and follow me at Cynthia Gallardo Legacy. I'd love to stay in contact with you. And so here are just some of the councils, different organizations that I'm a part of. As you can see here, I'm a part of the Member Wealth Council attorney, Louisiana State Bar, American Bar Association, Lafayette Bar Association, National Entrepreneurs Association, and the American Immigration Lawyers Association. I do want to tell you, I am barred in the state of Louisiana, yet trademark law is a federal law, and I can definitely assist anybody in the 50 United States. And just to share with you a chart, I love this chart. It's from the uspto.gov site, which I do want to tell you and be very open, authentic with you. uspto.gov has great information. They actually have a very, very good training, a course, a boot camp regarding trademarks, copyrights, and patents. Yet I want you to know, you can definitely go through it. I'm here to give you just a high level of what trademarks are and why it would be important for you. So basically, a trademark allows you to legally legally protect a word, phrase, design, or a combination that identifies your goods or services, distinguishes them from the goods or services of others, and indicates the source of your goods or services. So bottom line, you can trademark a logo, a name, and a tagline or slogan. Those are the three things that you can trademark. And it gives you some examples. Everyone knows Coca-Cola, Nike with the R with the circle. That's the ultimate goal here for you, is to get you to that registration with the federal government and receive that certification. And you can utilize R with the circle around with your name. So what are the benefits of being able to get this federal protection? Basically, you have others without permission that are utilizing your name, your logo, your tagline, slogan. You will be able to protect your legal rights through the USPTO.gov organization or office or department. So I want you to know it's something very positive for you. You definitely want to make sure you're utilizing your legal rights, or make sure that you have everything in place to be able to do that. So some common objections: well, I'm already registered in my state. I just started my business. I don't have enough money to need it. I can tell you all of these are just excuses, right? Because if you're registered in your state, you still need to make sure that through the federal government, you register your name, logo, tagline, or slogan. And it doesn't matter if you just started your businesses. All those huge businesses out there, Nike, Coca-Cola, all of those started somewhere, right? They started at some point, just like you have. And also, it really is not costly. It's something you have to think about investing so that the long term you're protected and preserved as a legacy. And so what's your risk if you don't have a trademark? Well, I'll tell you, there is a risk because others can take what you have, what you've built, all that blood, sweat, tears you put into your business. You're, as an entrepreneur, as a legacypreneur, it can just be taken from you. So what are some of the goals of trademarking? Basically, you want to make sure that you're able to protect what you have there. It's going to add value to your intellectual property as a trademark. Think about long-term, right? I talked about one of the first few days of the challenge, begin with the end in mind. Well, eventually you may want to sell your business, right? And I can guarantee you it will have more value if you have something that's trademarked and registered with the US government, because it's adding value to that intellectual property that you have. And then it prevents others from using a trademark that is similar to yours with your related goods or services. So you're taking the time now to protect and preserve what you've built up. So there's 5 key steps. I'm a big person. I like to be able to see the big picture first and then understand the details. So 5 key steps in the trademark process. First, you name your business, your product or service, which most of you probably have. You identify the trademark to protect, whether it's the name, the logo, the tagline, or slogan. We can conduct a search. You can conduct a search. I can help you with that. We complete the trademark application, and then you maintain and enforce your rights. But very important here, a trademark strategy plan is critical to make sure that you are effectively protecting and preserving your legacy. And it's okay to ask for help. That's what today is all about, making sure you know that there is help out there. So you might think you do, but do you really have a trademark? Or are you really protected? Are you really preserving your legacy? A state registration is not enough. Federal protection is critical to preserve and protect your legacy. And I'll just give you some high-level steps that you could go through to make sure it's protected from a federal perspective. So I do want to make sure I highlight, doing nothing means you may have a specific geographic priority, but not a national legal right. So a lot of people hear first use, and that's true. Definitely first use is important, yet it's the first person who creates that. I always call it a birth certificate for their business, right? Just like a birth certificate for your baby, for a baby. Birth certificate for your business, that's done from a trademark or federal or a national perspective. That's really important. It's first come, first serve at that point. So that's why I always tell individuals I speak to, legacypreneurs I speak to, if you have an idea, you have that name, you have that logo, you have that tagline, slogan, make sure you protect it and do it now. The default plan. So no trademark. If you don't have a trademark strategy plan, someone can take your idea, as you mentioned, they can take your legacy, everything you've worked to build to this point. And also you are protecting your business, your legacy, but with only limited tools. You may be protected in your state what about all the other 49 states out there and the other international as well? That's something you want to consider as well with all the social media out there. And then also, you wouldn't be thinking as a visionary, there would be no future payout because you haven't protected that intellectual capacity. So really important to think about those things long term. Now, here's the trademark process in a nutshell, right? You file the trademark application. I would help you with that. USPTO examines the mark. So there's what we call an office action or refusals that could be sent over to you. You need to respond within 6 months to make sure your application is not abandoned. Then the USPTO publishes the mark to basically identify or open up the opportunity for others out there who may think that your mark, your trademark is very similar to theirs. They have an opportunity or a time period to oppose that. If there's no opposition, then the USPTO issues what we call the notice of allowance. And then through that process, you eventually, the USPTO registers the mark. And this is where we can celebrate. We're able to celebrate that certification, that trademark that you're registered with the government. So you'd be able to go from utilizing a TM for the trademark to the R with the circle next to your business name, logo, tagline, or slogan. So what are your options? Well, I always tell people you only have 2 options at this point, right? And maybe 3. And these are the options. No federal trademark, or you get a federal trademark, right? If you don't get a federal trademark, you're really not protecting and preserving your legacy from a high level perspective or nationally and even internationally at that point. Or you can get a trademark, right? You can apply for a trademark and make sure you're protecting yourself at a federal level. So knowledge is not enough. You need a strategy plan. What do you need to do? How can you make it happen? When should you get started? And what's the investment to get it done? Great questions. And that's what that strategy plan is about. We'd be able to go through, identify all the answers to those questions specifically to your legacy. And as a legacypreneur, basically you go through 6 key steps, number 6 being my favorite. You attend a class or a webinar. So this would be kind of like a precursor, an appetizer to that webinar that we would go through long term. And we'd specifically in step 2, trademark your strategy session. We create a trademark strategy session or a plan specific to your legacy. Once we do that, we'd work with each other. We'd be able to get the information from you that we need. We'd submit your application information. Then I would submit the application for you. Progress is communicated throughout the entire process. And then once we get that final step, we get the certification, we can celebrate your success at that point. And that's my favorite part. I love celebrating with individuals once they get to that point of protecting and preserving their legacy. So I just want you to know it is a process. Everything out there is a process in life, right? So this is just one of those things to protect and preserve your legacy as a legacypreneur. So let's talk about cost. What's the cost of failing to plan? Well, it's a huge cost, right? There's so many businesses out there that have lost everything that they put into their legacy because others have been able to take it from them because it wasn't protected. And I will only recommend planning if the amount that will be saved by you is more than my fee as an attorney, as a lawyer, help you protect and preserve your legacy. So the next step here is let's talk about that. I'd love to be able to chat with you in a one-on-one. We'd be able to sit down, discuss your strategy plan. We can talk about, at that point, we can talk about costs specific to your needs. And what you can do is go to www.freestrategycallwithcynthia.com, or you can go to my website at www.cynthiagallardo.com, and you'll be able to register for a free strategy session structured around your specific business, you as a legacypreneur, and we'll be able to get you on target to be able to protect and preserve your legacy. So thank you so much for going through the 5-day challenge with me, the Legacypreneur Challenge. Today is day 5 of our challenge. And thank you for working through this with me. And I would love to be able to work with you to be able to help protect and preserve your legacy. You can do it. The key is just getting started. So I'm signing off as Cynthia Gallardo, your leading legacy lawyer. And I look forward to talking to you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.